Very soon, your favorite, or must I say, in one of India's favorite snacks, samosa and jalebi, would come with a health warning. Can you imagine that? And just not samosa, jalebi, but vada pav and all the other lovely Indian snacks could soon come with a label of a warning. Why? Because in a first of its kind move, the Health Ministry is rolling out visual health warnings for high fat and high sugar, contents of popular snacks like samosas, jalebis, pakoras, vada pav, your chai biscuits as well. They will soon carry cigarette-style health warning. This experiment is being started with AIIMS Nagpur, and with this, the whole idea is to put more awareness in what you are eating as far as the rising obesity and lifestyle diseases are concerned. So what's on your plate is something that the government wants you to know. How practical is this? Or the whole question about, are we only targeting our lovely street food, Indian street food and snacks? And is this even practical, putting like a tobacco or a cigarette, packet kind of a health warning on this kind of food? That becomes a very, very important question. Let's very quickly tell you a little bit more about what's happening and why is it being done. So samosa and jalebi, all the packaged snacks, sweets are under the review at this moment as far as the government is concerned. There is going to be a red label for high fat, salt, sugar items which these food contains. And also, the warnings will be like you see on the cigarette packet, that statutory warning that it is injurious to health. And now with the picture, which is very scary, the warning is going to be similar as far as the samosa and jalebi is concerned. This will be applicable only to the packaged items, and the move is aimed at curbing lifestyle diseases. The FSSAI proposal is under the consideration of the government, and the government says that it is not going to ban any of these food items which are, as I said, from the very favorites of the people. Now, let's first, before in fact I tell you more about this, these are very popular snacks. What do people have to say about this? As I said, our platform and the Nationwide at 6 is your platform, and India Speaks on NDTV. This is where your voice matters. Listen in what people had to say about this move.
So samosa क्या है? Samosa के साथ jalebi is like a combination that everybody is so pleased to कि बस this is my favorite meal. Especially monsoon season है तो समोसे के साथ जलेबी तो अभी खाएंगे. I think salad can come later.
कि हमारे लिए अगर समोसा जलेबी खाना है तो खाना है. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि अगर उसमें थोड़ा होता है ऊपर नीचे तो कोई आदमी थोड़ा एडजस्ट कर लेंगे, एक्सरसाइज कुछ वॉकिंग करके. बट समोसा जलेबी तो वो सिगरेट जैसे हार्मफुल नहीं हो सकते.
ये बहुत अच्छा है और बहुत ही ये हेल्दी है. आप किसी भी हॉस्पिटल में जाइए, आपको हॉस्पिटल के कैंटीन्स में समोसा भी मिलेगी, जलेबी भी मिलेगी, और यू विल एंजॉय लाइक एनीथिंग. और हम तो सोच भी नहीं सकते, वी कांट थिंक कि बिना जलेबी के कोई पार्टी हो गई या समोसा के बिना कोई पार्टी हो गई.
Yeah, it's a great initiative. Honestly speaking, all those jokes aside, it is very good if we can restrict ourselves with less of oil and more of salads or vegetables. And that too, if we are able to do it, I think we're going to be a lot healthier.
Let us stop all the junk food items and better to go with the salads and this sprouts and everything. Then only just your health will be the better for any time.
कैरेट है, बीटरूट है, ऐसी चीज़ें खाने से अच्छा है. ये समोसों में क्या है, तेल सही नहीं रहता, और आज का तेल कल का तेल मिला के समोसे में खाते लोग, उसमें बीपी, शुगर, थायराइड सब आता उसमें.
It would be a very difficult choice to do so, but if I have to be healthy and be confident, I would swap samosas with salads.
समोसे को सैलेड से तो नहीं कर पाऊँगा मैं, क्योंकि समोसा अपनी जगह है और सैलेड अपनी जगह है. जैसे मैं हेल्थ कॉन्शियस हूँ, तो अगर मैं हेल्थ के ऊपर अगर जाऊँगा तो मैं सैलेड को चूज़ करूँगा. बट अगर मेरे को टेस्ट के लिए जाना है तो मैं समोसा ही चूज़ करूँगा ना.
अपने घर पे जो पकाते हैं वही चीज़ें, जो बाहर पकाते हैं वही चीज़ें, मगर इसमें जो बाहर का जो चीज़ यूज़ करते हैं, हर चीज़ के खाने के अंदर मिलावट रहता है। समोसा और कोई भी चीज़, बज्जी और नारियल, कौन सा भी चीज़ हो, जो ऑयल का चीज़ बनाने वाला जो भी चीज़ यूज़ करता है, ऑयल कम दाम का यूज़ करता है, इसीलिए जो जनता का जो सेहत खराब होता है, ये सोच के थोड़ा संभल के चलिए आप लोग।
How can India survive without their dose of samosa, jalebi, papra, vada pav, and all the snacks? In fact, what will we do in our office parties for every small thing, just an excuse for samosa and jalebi? But nobody better to talk about this than one of the most famous, known, in fact, food writer, actor, and YouTuber. His YouTube channel, Khane Mein Kya Hai, tells you everything best to eat, the most famous from across the country. I'm being joined by Kunal Vijayakart. Kunal, thank you so much. People associate you with food, and I've been a big fan watching all the videos that you put out. Let me start by asking you, before we get into this whole controversy, what are the best places for samosa and jalebi that Kunal has seen in a long time?
Well, I can tell you about Mumbai. We've got A1, your Guru Kripa, which are great samosas. They make over 30,000 samosas a day, so they are really good.
Wow.
Yes. And there are some new joints which are doing some good. The place called Avaria, which has really good samosas also. And jalebis, there is a what do you call it? There is a jalebi shop behind the old Roxy Cinema, which is just damn good. They do jalebi and fafda. So fafda is a Gujarati, you know what a fafda is, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's great.
So Kunal, of course, I'm sure you love your diet of samosa and jalebi. People keep seeing you eating all that at one of the most famous places. But tell me one thing, what do you make of this new move that the government wants to come up with warning signals on your garma garam samosa and jalebi? I mean, it's an awareness initiative. What do you make of that?
You know, the thing is, the question is, am I here as an expert on food or as a victim of obesity? Which is the question, you know. And while I think everybody should maintain a certain amount of health routine in their lives, you can't not eat these wonderful dishes that are created on the streets of India. Self a Punjabi samosa or gulab jamun or jalebi. I think anything in moderation is good. My thing is, don't eat 2 Punjabi samosas every day. Eat 1 Punjabi samosa every alternate day, you know. And I think it's a bit, I know obesity is a huge problem, but to compare it with cigarettes is a little unfair because there are absolutely no benefits of smoking and cigarettes. But there are huge benefits in terms of your mind, your joy, your happiness eating a samosa or a jalebi.
What the government is aiming at, Kunal, the joy that you get eating samosa, they want your joy to be limited because of the effect that it would have on your body. But let me ask you this, shouldn't people know, what they are eating? So what's the harm if, there is a label, is a warning, what's on your plate should be very clearly defined. It's also a time when people want to know exactly what they're consuming.
Yes, you should. But I have this theory, okay? I may be, and I'm not a scientist, I'm not an expert, but once you fry it and once you heat it, most of the bad things, as in germs and hygiene issues, are generally taken care of, okay? Unless your ingredients themselves are bad. How are we going to anywhere in the world regulate what happens on the street, in street food? You know, it's very difficult in a country like ours to regulate it. Having said that, samosas have been eaten for hundreds and hundreds of years. Jalebis have been eaten for another 100 and 300, 400 years, you know. So to completely paint them with the brush of a villain is a little unfair, is the way I look at it. But yes, you have the right to look at what is going inside the food. And it's the choice you make. If you decide to be very, very careful about how you eat, then you go to those kind of places which you're sure of. But if you have a slightly more, gutsy stomach, I think get out and eat whatever pleases you, no? I don't know. There's no way we can regulate street food in this country because there's so much of it.
That is true. There is so much of choice, so much of street food across the country. But let me ask you this then. On social media, it has also ignited a different kind of war, which says that, you're unfairly targeting Indian traditional street food, snacks and all. Nobody is speaking about the multi-billion-dollar chain burgers and so forth. Do you also see that, as being unfair to the Indian street food, a war between Indian street food and the Western?
You can implement it in terms of making people put up boards, okay? Just look at it very simply. Like Paytm, for example, okay, as a tool, everybody's used it. So the smallest vendor has got access to something called Paytm. So there's no reason why we can't reach out to everybody and put up boards. But how many smokers have given up looking at the cigarette packet? And how many smokers have given up because of... I was a smoker, a huge smoker. I gave up 10 years ago, and not because of the packet, the pictures on the packet, because I could feel something going wrong with me. I could feel my chest and my breathing. Similarly, if you eat too much of food, oily, fatty, sweet, you're going to have to stop yourself. You've got to regulate yourself at some point of time. So putting up boards, I don't think is a solution. Educating people may be a better idea of telling people. It's like, at some point of time, somebody, and I will not take brand names, but somebody told me that a cola of a certain kind contains at least 8 tablespoons of sugar in it. Now, the minute I heard that, I think 10 times before having a soft drink. That kind of, so give out information, tell people that this contains so many calories. Do you want to eat so many calories? Look at a samosa. Samosa is carb upon carb. There are 2 carbs, deep fried. So I think education is better. You put up boards. I have nothing against putting up boards, but will it work? I do not know.
No,
because when I'm hungry and subah ko nashta karne ja raha hu, on my way to office, I've gotten out of the railway station and there is somebody frying hot vadas in front of me. Am I going to stop and look at the board and say, yeah, I don't know.
That's true, but do you also see this as a war between vada pav and burger, as many are calling this, because they believe that this will unfairly target Indian sweets or snacks?
Look, I think we should all support our Indian snacks, okay? I'm not saying that it's a war between the sort of Western snacks and Indian snacks. I'm a big fan of all Indian food. I'm a big fan of all the street food that we get in India, especially in the north. But I think because there is such a large consumption of samosas and gulab jamuns and jalebis on the road compared to the consumption of burgers in a fast food chain, I think they're trying to get to the lowest common denominator and just, where it affects most people. I mean, uncles and aunties, 60, 70-year-old uncles are eating samosas on the road, but they're not really going and eating burgers in a shop,
From uncle and aunties to even young people, those who follow you would see Kunal dipping into everything. Kunal is eating the chola bhatura. He's also eating the samosa, street food, chaat, name whatever, veg, non-veg. Kunal is eating everything. For those people, what would you like to say to them? If Kunal could eat, we can also eat. It's not, having any issues on Kunal, then possibly it's safe for us as well.
Life is life. The whole of life is about proportions, control, and how much you eat. Overdoing anything is bad. Overdoing a good thing is bad. So I think if you can portion control. I try to portion control as much as possible because I'm not going to stop eating anything. I would like to continue eating everything, but if I can control my portions, I think I'll be good. Instead of eating 2 samosas, eat 1 samosa, eat a mini samosa, maybe half a samosa, but don't eat it. Don't not eat it,
Portion control is the key as far as Kunal is concerned. But Kunal, tell me one thing. You spoke about this at the beginning of the conversation as well. You've struggled also with weight and obesity and food habits and so on and so forth. And for somebody who makes his living, eating on the street, eating out, how has that struggle been for you?
It's been a struggle all my life because I have been a fat man for most of my life. And you will see, if you look at older episodes of mine on my YouTube channel, you will see that I was like huge. And then over a period, after having done all these episodes, eating everywhere, I've still managed to lose weight. And it's all because of portion control. It's all about portion. It's about never overdoing anything. Just being in control of how much you do of what. Does not mean you should start smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol, but everything in putting on more weight. So it is a battle always about weight.
All right. From that battle, before I let you go, let me ask you this. Given a choice, samosa, or all right, let's start with vada pav or burger.
Vada pav, any day.
Okay. Samosa or taco?
Samosa, and not only a Punjabi samosa, a keema samosa, but a ghugra, green pea samosa. Great. Indian food is the greatest food in the world.
Okay, jalebi or some sort of western pies, apple and so forth.
Okay, now you got me. I really like pies, that's why. But jalebi with rabdi, I can't avoid that. You have to have rabdi on the jalebi.
All right, Kunal, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. After speaking to you, I feel hungry. I think I'm craving that small portion of samosa or jalebi that we were talking about. Thank you so much for speaking to NDTV. That's all the time that we have in this edition, ladies and gentlemen, of Nationwide at 6. We'll come back tomorrow, same time, same place. Do tune in. Thank you so much for speaking.